Hello and welcome to Financial Technology Frontiers Live. We are in for our wonderful conversation of the Corner Office series, where we are interviewing some of the best CEOs from the financial services sector. And with me today, I have a noted luminary. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Casparus Kromhout, who is the MD and CEO of Shriram Life. Welcome to Banking Frontiers.
Thank you very much, Babu.
Let's go initially about the last few years in insurance. And the company has seen a lot of interesting growth. So if you can just map out to us, how has the journey in last few years been? And what has been the major growth accelerators for Shriram Life in the last few years?
Babu, thank you. The journey has obviously been quite interesting in the last couple of years for the whole country, for the whole world, and for all insurers as well. The one thing that I really want to stress upon is that in Shriram Life, we have a very strong purpose, coming from the Shriram legacy, that we want to serve the community. We want to serve the Aam Aadmi who really need life insurance. So this is our purpose, is to reach out to as many families as we can. People who are earning slightly less, maybe the lower middle market, that 2 to 5 lakh family income range, roughly around there is an important customer segment for us, and this is also coming from our DNA from the Shriram Group. So given that importance, the COVID times have been very important for us. What we've seen before is that growth has been very fast. The segment itself is very large. The need is very high. If you compare the states that we are in, Telangana, where we are based, if you look at a state like Andhra Pradesh, the whole of South Africa, where I come from, is the size of Andhra Pradesh in terms of population. So the scale is completely different here. So the opportunity then is massive. Penetration is still very low at around 3% in the country. So which means that the challenge becomes, how can you get business models and how can you get ways to really reach out to all of these potential customers and get them covered by life insurance. So we've done a lot of work on that. We've done formal innovation since 2017, and I'll speak later about that as well. But we've seen some strong growth. COVID, of course, especially the second wave of COVID, we saw hit the rural space very hard. Our customers in rural, we saw it in our claims. Half of our claims come from rural India, and especially during the second wave of COVID, we saw that spiking in a very big way. So in terms of growth engines, we try to make sure that we get business models that can reach out. Insurance is still a face-to-face selling proposition. It's not, even we can do what we want in terms of technology, and we will also speak about that. But still, especially our customer segment was my experience here, and also customers deep in rural, they want to be able to see somebody face to face. So our focus has been to try and position people as deep in rural as possible, and to enable them through technology, and then help them to reach out to customers and then sell. That's been helping our growth. We've also seen the difficulties of continuously achieving that growth, but now coming out of COVID, we see that the industry and us also, there's some really strong growth.
How have you been using all channels effectively to achieve that kind of business that you desire?
Babu, we're fortunate to be blessed in Shriram with very large NBFCs. and a very large customer base coming from those MBFCs, who we then also try to serve by reaching out to them and getting them covered by life insurance. So a lot of our efforts are going into reaching out to the existing Shriram customer base, cross-selling basis their needs. And then, of course, that in itself is not enough. So then we've also created open market channels, direct selling business, interesting rural technology-driven businesses that help us reach out better. So we have the strength of the Shriram Group behind us. I think that's the first and foremost thing that really helps Shriram Life Insurance a lot. And then on top of that, we are innovating and we are building and trying to reach out deeper into the open market as well to get even more people covered.
Do you think the ecosystem for insurance in India today is enough to support this magnitude of growth? And what kind of newer ecosystems need to be built to promote this massive growth that we can probably look in another 4 to 5 years?
This is a very interesting space. We are fortunate that the regulator is actually taking a lot of initiative to number one, enable the industry so that more customers can be reached, but also in taking initiative and creating ecosystems as well to do that. So it is a very tough challenge. It is a big task to do. I've been here now for the last 12 years, and I've seen that this is not a simple thing to do, even though the market size and the potential is so high. To bring life insurance and especially to the lower segments, to ensure that the education happens, that people understand, and then to reach out to them is a very difficult thing. So even though the industry has grown very well, what I really enjoy seeing is that the regulator has been very proactive in trying to create more opportunities, even looking at the current regulations, and also looking at how ecosystems can be improved. That creates another opportunity for technology to be made simpler and more easy for the players and in the industry to use, which means that we can focus more on reaching out to our customer segments in doing that. So yes, I think a lot of things are being done. I think there's nothing to complain about. In the end, it's us who need to make it work.
From your perspective, what kind of product differentiation is happening and new interesting product diversification is seen in the market? What are you working on in this area?
Yeah, absolutely. Product innovation is extremely important. With the regulator also looking at use and file as a concept and allowing that for certain product changes, it's really helpful to us. Our segment is very interesting. The one thing that we realize and that I've observed here is that our customers have unique needs. If you look at our customer segment, it is often mostly actually it would be farmers, small business people, people who don't have a regular income flow. They might have some income during some part of the year and then no income in the rest of the year. So insurance product innovation needs to happen around that. What can we do? What solutions can we put in place? I prefer to speak about it as solutions to customers rather than only products. Rather than trying to sell a product, what solutions can we bring? And it would be really great to be able to combine financial services solutions. And I know that there is talk about allowing even things like that. And what we've seen is that definitely in our segment, the customers need a bit more financial flexibility. Sometimes they have a lot of money and sometimes they have no money. So we need to be able to work around that and not deny them life insurance cover because they don't fit into the normal model. And we are working on understanding our customer subsegments, personas, and then from those personas, we're trying to develop solutions.
So how do you foresee such kind of amalgamation or product diversifications taking place?
They will probably in future, and as progressive as the regulator is starting to become, we will probably see more of that happening in future. So how can you give health cover, which most customers understand much better? I know that I see that on a daily basis. I know that I need to be covered for any health issues, and to add to that some life cover, which maybe I don't understand that well, to automatically bundle it, or to ensure that things like groceries are covered for my family if anything happens to me. Why do I need to think only about strict life cover and then get convinced to do that? So I think we will see significant changes coming in the future where very innovative models will be developed, combining health, life, general insurance, and even other financial products, so that customers can get covered appropriately.
From your perspective, what has been some of the key bottlenecks that we need to work around to make sure that this growth acceleration does not meet roadblocks?
I think what we are seeing right now is that enough opportunity is being given, enough signals are coming that roadblocks will be taken out of the way. Reviewing regulations entirely, I think, is always very helpful to make sure that there isn't anything that may have been valid in 1938 when the initial law was written. And I know a lot of changes have come already in that, but as technology develops, regulations, I think, need to adapt to that as well. And we are seeing all the efforts coming into changing those regulations. Other than that, I think it is up to the companies to be creative and to find ways to come into that. If I look at it, I mean, for us, the most important thing for us is to pay claims to our customers. That's the final thing that we are here for. That's the asset test, as you say. So we have enough control over innovation in that space. So we have shifted to a policy of paying a claim within 12 hours. If it's a non-early claim, it doesn't need to be investigated. No reason that we should be sitting on a poor family's money and not give it to them. So we've changed the turnaround time to 12 hours, and we're focusing on that 12 hours. The bulk of our non-early claims are being paid within 12 hours to the family. And this has created a lot of shift. And if families see that claims are getting paid and claims are getting paid fast, then suddenly it changes the whole thing. And we've seen a very positive shift in our customer base from understanding then what life insurance is about and coming. So I think a lot of control is with us. We should not necessarily wait for things to happen, right?
What are the new areas of expansions you are seeing or diversifications you are seeing as your company to play a major role in this growth acceleration for the insurance sector?
I think partnering is extremely important. Whereas, especially for us, creating capacity very deep in rural, which we are doing, is quite a costly affair. And in that way, we need to be able to collaborate, work with partners, find people who work in those spaces, and collaborate with them. We've also been doing our innovation and digitalization in a big way, and found that that works. Now, I mean, we hardly need a branch. Our person can go with our Astra app, which is used for managing leads and doing business. Everything is there, so you can reach into the deepest of rural spaces. So I think technology will continue to play a very important role, and we've seen that this has enabled our teams very deep in rural to conclude business and to move faster in that. And then whatever we can do to support people who sell, I would say it's almost the most difficult job that you might find in in sales, is selling life insurance. And so how can we, so whatever you can do to enable will open up that space and ensure that more volumes can come.
Is there any roadmap for insurtech that you have seen, and how have you been engaging with the insurtech?
There is a big opportunity in insurtechs. The most of the focus that we have done is to create through innovation kind of homegrown insurtechs. So we've built some within the company. In the group itself, there is a big focus on investment in digital, and through that we see a lot of opportunity and partnerships being created in the insurtech space. We're fortunate to be able to be part of those partnerships as they get created. And we will do more in future as well to create a space where we can collaborate, understand insurtechs, especially ones that work with our customer segment and who've cracked the difficulty of selling lower ticket size insurance business, ensuring that customers understand it well and keep their policies in force. And these are some of the statements in the industry that need to be solved, and the better we can do that, the more we can do that, the better. And we're seeing insurtechs have the capability and the fresh thinking to do a lot more of that. So we will be engaging even more in future with insurtechs.
Wonderful. I think that was a great conversation that we have ever had. Thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful conversation. And we look forward to have you more and more with us in our platforms to take these conversations in the future.
Thank you very much, Babu. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to our future conversations. Thank you.